What's up, G Show Land, and welcome to another episode of the G Show Podcast. I am G1, and this is our review for 65. 65, the movie starring Adam Driver that just came out this past weekend, had a lot of competition. I mean, this movie and its competition is ridiculous. Ridiculous. Sony set this movie up, but I digress, we'll get into it. Let me introduce y'all first to my right hand when it comes to Godzilla on the G Show, my brother Chase, a.k.a. Megsy, a.k.a. G73. What the hell's going on?
Dude, I'm finally over having the Hedora, and I feel like I can breathe again at least, but now I need to really figure out how to get my sleeping all figured out because I'm not going to bed anymore pretty much at all. If I go to sleep, it's either in the day and I sleep all day and I'm up at night. But last night I went to bed and I slept almost 18 hours. So I woke up today at 6 a.m. and I'm like, well, I got a doctor's appointment anyway. So I got mom in gear and we went out and got breakfast and all that. And turned out being a good day. And now I'm just trying to correct all that. But dude, this stuff is bad.
Yeah. Oof. Also joining us,
Other than that, I got a PS5.
That's a different podcast. Also joining us is the star of 65 himself, Adam Driver. I'm lying. It is JR, who absolutely looks like Adam Driver. It's insane. I'm watching that movie and I'm like, oh my God. Give this man some royalties.
I get that so often. It's like, it's funny because Adam Driver is literally my favorite actor in Hollywood right now. So it's like, sweet.
Yeah, I'd take it. I wish I looked like Adam Driver. Back a really long time ago, about 20 some odd years ago, they said I looked like Orlando Bloom. I got that a lot. Now I look like Orlando's Blooms. They thought I looked like Legolas and shit. I used to have the long hair. Look at the pretty boy. Now I look like Gimli.
I've seen that one old video of you and your brother came to visit you, and you're a little weepy. You almost remind me of the guy in The Mummy who's leading all the people on the horses in the sand and the sandstorm and stuff. I think you pull that guy off.
I like that guy. I do. I know who you're talking about.
I was thinking about Bruce Willis, but...
Dude, I'll take it all day, every day. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker! Ah! Yes, all day, every day. I'll take it. I love you, Bruce Willis. I love you.
Vin Diesel, too.
No. We ain't family. Get that shit out of here, brother. Chase.
Yeah, boy.
You get that shit out of here. We already know. Family in space. Fast 11. Vin Diesel versus Jason. Oh God, let's stop. Let's talk about this movie because not only do I want to review and talk about 65, I also want to preview that Chinese Thailand co-op movie, The Lake, which surprisingly is supposed to come out on digital as of this podcast. So go fucking figure. If that's the case, we'll be doing another review this week. But I digress. Let's talk about 65. Before we get into the movie, let's start off with the hype train, or the lack thereof. Because honestly, I seen a trailer for this movie, November, December, I think? Maybe even January, to be honest with you. It wasn't that long ago that the first trailer dropped and we were all like, what the hell is this Dino Crisis shit? Sony's doing Dino Crisis? I mean, that's what it looked like, and I was so on board for that. I was so on board for it, but it just came out of nowhere. Literally, I didn't see this on any of the movie things. It was just like 65. Okay, science fiction and what looks to be a dinosaur. I'm okay with this. What did y'all think about the marketing of this movie, or lack thereof, JR?
To be 100%, the trailers didn't spoil much of this movie. And I did appreciate that because and we'll get into it. Like, it just kept a lot of stuff, like the plot. You get a general plot synopsis. Oh, there's dinosaurs, you know, but you didn't know. Like, I thought it was going to be straight up, like, action horror. And it wasn't. And that's fine. I was like, oh, it's surprising to me. And then, yeah, so what? We got 2 fucking trailers, and then the movie was out. And that's okay. But I think that might have hurt this movie a little bit.
Sometimes less is more, unless you're coming out against Scream 6. I mean, come on, Sony. Come on.
To be fair, though, it is Scream 6, and Scream hasn't been good ever.
Yeah, but the reviews for Scream 6 have been off the charts. It's
I know.
across the board.
The last Scream movie, though, did great.
Really?
I think
that's the thing. It did a lot. It did well at the box office, and it got a lot of hype.
It's crazy because whoever's doing the Scream movies, starting from the last one and this one, like brand new creators, they're taking it into a different direction. Last week I did a whole Scream marathon because I did not see Scream 5, and I was like, let me watch it before I get spoiled for anything. So me and the wife, we watched Scream 2 to 5 because we've seen Scream 1 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Just to, the best Scream is not a scary movie. We all know that.
But yeah.
What's that?
It's I actually watched that over the weekend. That's fucking hysterical.
I love that movie.
But yeah, sometimes less is more unless it comes out against a franchise juggernaut like Scream. Especially when this movie has really just Adam Driver going for it. That's the only thing. This Adam Driver. He's a well-renowned, respected actor. The man's great. The young kids know him as Kylo Ren. The film buffs know him as a plethora of any other Oscar-worthy films. So for him to be put in a vehicle like this, it's like, what's going on? Is this a franchise tag? Like we said, Brother Chase, is this Dino Crisis? Is Adam Driver in Dino Crisis? But what did you think about the marketing leading right up to this movie? And was this a good idea to drop it in the midst of Ant-Man being out for 3 weeks, Creed 3 being out for 1 week, and then going up against Scream at the same day?
In all honesty, I think it was Creed that did it in. I don't think Scream was gonna. Scream was one of those movies that I didn't even know was coming out, and I don't think a lot of people knew it was coming out. But everyone knew about Creed for a bit. But as far as the marketing for 65, it was trash. I mean, I didn't start seeing trailers for it until maybe up to 2 weeks. It started popping around. Obviously it came off to Sony as a throwaway. They just wanted to pop it out there, get it out of the way. I think they should have held on to the movie and released it like in September or October or August. But there's rumors that The Meg is coming out in August, the sequel to The Meg, and that could hurt it. But I mean, I don't think it should have came out in March. I see this movie getting a re-release in a couple of months for like pocket cash, but that's it.
This March has been packed.
Yes.
We still have John Wick 4 and Dungeons and Dragons this month.
Absolutely.
March is where a lot of fucking heavy hitters drop. You know, like you're saying, Creed 3, Scream.
And not only that, you have Guy Ritchie's newest heist movie that just came out, and that's doing really well right now as well.
Yeah, it's March is busy. Like, I was talking to the wifey about it when we came out of the theater. I'm like, this is going to be it's a great movie, and people are going to love it in 5 years because no one fucking went to see this. It's too packed.
That right there, that's a perfect statement. That is a perfect statement. This is going to become a cult classic.
It is.
It's going to become a cult classic. March this year, March in particular, is crazy because I've never seen March be this stacked. Never.
Yeah. Well, just be prepared. Next March, it's going to be worse because you got a lot of movies, including Godzilla and Kong, and there's some other stuff coming out. They have a Marvel movie coming out in March too, which is going to be bad, but I don't know what that is. But the one thing is I'll say is when I went to the opening the night before it released. I went to the Thursday show.
Yeah.
And my room wasn't full, but it was a lot more full than I've seen most movies I've gone to on a Thursday.
Yeah.
But the difference was this was full of children. And I'm like, I mean, that's cool to see, taking your kids to go see a dinosaur movie. But, I mean, that's the one thing that I think is going to have going for it is dinosaurs. But, again, I just don't – the marketing was just not that – the marketing wasn't great. Like, most of the stuff they've done was on Instagram, and it's all crappy stuff. Even the girl, Ariana Greenblatt, she was on interviews for it, but they just got no traction. They like no place is talking about them at all, and it's a shame because they actually did a lot of like big interviews about the movie, but I guess just the interview companies or the magazine companies or the television companies, they just don't think it's worthy enough to talk about it, which I think that's illegal because if you have their time, you should, post it somewhere. But I mean, like, there was a lot of interviews with Ariana Greenblatt and her talking about the movie and stuff, and you didn't hear nothing about it.
Yeah,
I found these interviews on YouTube just by happenstance.
I don't think it was a lack of promoting the movie through interviews or burying it, if you will. I don't think it was that at all. It's just this movie really had no kind of promotion. Again, people know who Adam Driver is. They know him as Star Wars dude, or they know him as a respected actor. And then it's just dinosaurs. So, like, Chase, when you say the theater you were in, there were a lot of kids, that's great. Because it's Jurassic Park in space, Well, Jurassic Park in space, quotes unquote. We're going to get into the movie. But that makes sense. It's a PG-13 film. It works in that regard if parents took their kids to see it. The theater I saw it in, I went early Friday morning. Not early Friday morning. Oh, I'm lying. No, I called first show Friday. It was like 11:40 in the morning. And there might have been 15 people in the theater.
Really?
Yeah.
My theater was fucking packed on a Sunday at like fucking 4:50.
Wow, that's crazy.
There was like 4 seats available. It was packed.
Wow.
Yeah, I went to a 4:00 on a Thursday.
Yeah, and I went so I have the IMAX screen in Boise, but I live in Nampa, so we have an Edwards here in Nampa. We were watching it on the biggest screen here in Nampa. It wasn't IMAX. I don't even know if this was an IMAX.
It wasn't. Yeah. I checked, and I was very disappointed because IMAX didn't have it. Dolby didn't have it. Cinemark XD did not have it. Very upset about that.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting because their Instagram promotes it to see it on the biggest screen, and I even saw a trailer for IMAX for it.
I saw a trailer that said, see it on the biggest screen. I absolutely did. I was very upset because I don't think I would have went all the way out of my way to go see it in IMAX. I like my Cinemark theater that's closer to me. I love it.
Yeah.
So now that they retrofitted the XD theater and they got the recliner seats and they redid everything, it's a gorgeous theater. It literally is. It's perfect. That's 5 minutes away from my house. For that movie not to be shown on that screen was a kind of disappointing.
It's criminal.
It is criminal.
It's there.
And they have 2 screens. They have 2 XD screens. They're side by side. And they were showing Creed in one and Scream in the other. And I'm over here like, Creed is not a movie you need to see on this big-ass screen. It's Rocky.
No.
Stop. I don't even think Scream is a movie that needs to be seen on there. Those.
That's how it was. That's how it was at my Cinemark, too. It was Creed and Scream.
And I'm taking nothing away from either movie. I take nothing away from either movie. I like Creed. I didn't see Creed 3 yet, and I will. And I will go see Scream 6 probably next weekend. And that's either before or after I see Shazam! Fury of the Gods, which is another movie in this packed-ass month of March. Yeah. Holy crap. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Literally, we got Shazam, then you got John Wick and Dungeons & Dragons, and I'm going to tell you right now, before we get into the actual review, I wasn't on board with Dungeons & Dragons like used to might have been. But holy crap. I saw an extended trailer when I went to see 65. And I'm like, they shouldn't show any of this. Stop showing this. Don't show me no more. I fucking loved it. This movie is going to be the sleeper hit of the year, the most feel-good movie of the year. Yeah. Dungeons & Dragons knows what it's doing. I'm watching this trailer and I'm like, oh yeah, they're totally having fun here. Like, they get it. They get it. They're not making a serious movie. They're making a movie for Dungeons & Dragons fans, but for people like me who don't play it, can enjoy it too, a fun fantasy flick. I cannot wait for this movie.
Right? That's what I've been saying. Like, and I play D&D literally twice fucking month. And like, I was showing this trailer to everyone, and they're like, "Yeah, no, that looks cool." My buddy, I literally got my buddy into Dungeons & Dragons last month. At first, he was like, "I don't know, man, I don't know." And then I DM'd this session. He's like, "Dude, can we do this every week?" I'm like, "No." I get tired. I get very tired. But I showed him the trailer to the movie, and he's like, "Dude, this shit's awesome."
Every Saturday I play if I can. I've only been held back because I was sick.
I tell you, man, Godzilla bless y'all, bro, because I couldn't do it, but I could totally. I'm telling you right now, that trailer, I can't wait. I can't wait for that movie. So that's another movie. And then the question becomes, the question is, do you see that or John Wick first?
Well, I remember seeing the Comic-Con stuff of the Dungeons & Dragons stuff, and, like, there was even stuff shown of that I haven't seen pop up in a while, but I'm excited because I'm like, oh, maybe I forgot about it, so the shock value will be there.
Yeah, no, it looks good. It looks real good, and I really do appreciate the way this movie seems to be going. Like, they get it. Yeah. They get what they're making, and when you can do that, that's something special. But we're almost 20 minutes in, and we really haven't even talked about the movie yet. So let's start. We got to talk about 65. We got to talk about it. By the way, spoiler review. There really ain't much to spoil in this movie, because if you have any sort of brain cells, you see the trailer, you see the title, it says 65, there's dinosaurs, the damn tagline even says million years ago. There's your movie, people. 65 million years ago. I'm going to tell you what caught me. I thought this movie was going to be about time traveling.
Really?
I did. I swear to God I did. I thought this was something, Adam Driver was in the future. This is where I was like, oh, good, Dino Crisis. I thought Adam Driver was, from the far-flung future and got caught in a wormhole that took him back to the Jurassic era, the Jurassic era of Earth. But that wasn't the case. And so right off the bat, I stood up and I started applauding. And nobody could tell me nothing because there was only 15 people in the theater, and I was like, shut the fuck up, every one of y'all. I got up and I started applauding because, no, he's a fucking alien. They're aliens. They're humanoids from another world. Said 65 million years ago. I thought that was dope. Off the bat, I gave it mad props. I loved that idea.
Yeah.
Really did, because I didn't see that coming. I was like, okay, how are they going to do this? Because he's a time traveler, he goes back in time, he gets stuck in a wormhole. Hey, is he going to populate the Earth? That's what I thought, right? I was like, is he going to be the first man? But no, thank God they didn't go that route.
Wait, you're saying Adam Driver was Adam?
That's what I was just going to say. When I literally sat down and started watching this, I'm like, so is it going to be like a retelling of Adam and Eve? I literally thought that, but I'm glad that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
I was going to walk out if it was. I was like, you can't do that. You can't do that with this film.
Why not? Biblical pretexts with dinosaurs? I want to see it. I want to see it. I want to see it. There's a serpent.
Jesus versus dinosaurs. That's all you gotta say.
That's
on
it.
the lines of the fact that the girl's supposed to be like 8 in the film,
And she was,
or 13. I just
10.
think that's. I mean, Adam Driver wouldn't sign for a movie for that.
No, good movie. No. But she was good too, by the way. Honestly, as I was watching her, I really got a lot of and even though she's a little bit older than this one, but I really got like the feeling, kind of how I felt when I watched Godzilla vs. Kong, and saw little girl just do her damn thing. Just do her damn. I was like, yeah, I believe everything this kid is doing. I believe everything. And the trailer, I will say, in the trailer, I was kind of getting angry because it's like they were using this stock screen for every time she was attacked in the trailer, and I was like, oh, that's annoying. It was not like that in the theaters. Thank God that stock screen wasn't even in the movie. It was like legit her. I was okay with it. I was really okay with it. But so Gerald, let me ask you, because you were going into this movie with a whole different mindset. So going in, what were you thinking? What did you want? And how did this movie say, fuck that, this is what you're going to get it, and you're going to like it?
I went in wanting Dino Crisis, came out with Pitch Black.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. No. Just a little less horror than Pitch Black. But I was like, you know what? I'm digging it. We got the vibes there. The vibes there, science fiction, but instead of weird alien monsters, it's fucking dinosaurs. And then you have a space badass, not a serial killer, but a captain of a ship, just escorting. They do it in Pitch Black. he has to escort them. They just skipped all the nonsense and just got to the film. Instead of 2 hours, it's like, okay. It's literally like they watched Pitch Black and they were like, okay, Pitch Black's 2 hours. We can do 95 minutes. Okay, what do we do? Well, them scavenging and, making character moments? Fuck that. Adam Driver has all the character moments in the backstory. There's some flashbacks and some not even like... Honestly, if they didn't do a single flashback in this film and just had the subtext and the little hints they were given, because I wasn't stupid, I picked up on it immediately. I would have been fine. But the flashbacks were good. It's like they did that. All right. Well, we can't do Pitch Black again. We can't. Vin Diesel sue the fuck out of us. Okay.
Because we ain't family.
What if it's dinosaurs? Who do we get? Well, who's really good right now that would sign on? Adam Driver. Why Adam Driver? Well, he was Kylo Ren. He's a really great actor.
He owes us a favor.
And he's also an ex-Marine.
Legit.
And you could see it in this movie. I was like, it was like a perfect storm of that shit. So they got him. They're like, okay.
Adam Driver really an ex-Marine? I did not know that.
Yeah. It was literally right before Star Wars.
That's dope.
He served his country as a Marine. And it comes off because the way he, holds it, the mannerisms, the mindset, the way he acts, it's all there. The grill.
I thought I was watching John Wick killing dinosaurs. So I'm like, yeah, I'd buy it.
But he didn't even have to train. Fucking
Keanu Reeves.
Whoa, I forget his name. Because he was a fucking Marine. Yeah. And then they were like, okay, so how do we end this film? Remember Dino Crisis? Let's have 2 T-Rexes and whatever the fuck thing that was.
The one that's a quadruped. It actually ended up being like the mother of the ones that attacked the girl on the beach in the forest.
I thought it was like a Gigantosaurus because it...
No, it was a quadruped.
It was
weird because not all the dinosaurs in this movie were dinosaurs.
Thank you. Okay, I'm going to just get it out of the way right now. That was my only pet peeve with this movie. I love this movie. I enjoyed it. I am not going to shit on it. But that was my only pet peeve. This is the Earth 65 million years ago. Unless we haven't dug up these particular dinosaur shit, which I fucking doubt, those dinosaurs were aliens. Those dinosaurs were fucking aliens. That's all I'm saying. I have never seen them dinosaurs in my life.
But yeah, it made me think for a second, like, maybe in original script it wasn't on Earth and it was alien dinosaurs, but it didn't bother me because one thing I will say is the movie hooked me. You had 5 minutes of him with his wife and daughter, and then the fucking movie started.
Yeah.
And I was hooked, and I never once checked out. And even though there were not real dinosaurs in it, I was like, you know what? I could believe it. It's the 65 million years ago, like you're saying. Maybe, they haven't found it yet. Maybe it's just an evolution of a dinosaur. Maybe they're evolving into crocodiles or birds or some shit.
Or birds. I could see that.
Yeah.
Although we see the
mammoths. I was okay with it. I was really okay with it. Great. It was fucking, yeah. But that's how, like, literally, pitch black, through and through. Just a little bit more toned down. Not a hard R, but a PG-13. Like the Chronicles of Riddick got that PG-13.
That honestly is my favorite Riddick movie. I gotta be honest. I love the Conan in space thing. I digress.
So good.
I did not think of Pitch Black, but as soon as you said it, I'm like, oh my fucking god. Yes, true story. Went to see Pitch Black. Me and a bunch of my dudes way back when it first came out, obviously. I did not like that movie. I still can't sit down and watch that movie and say, I enjoyed it. It is what it is. It's just there. But I did like Chronicles of Riddick. I was like, this is good. This is fucking good. But, by you saying Pitch Black with dinosaurs, yeah, no, I totally fucking get it. I see it.
It's there. I almost, like, I don't want to believe this. It's like Sony sold, or Universal sold the original script, and someone was like, shit, let's make this again, just change a few things.
Chase.
Copying someone's homework.
Chase, knowing your background and your love for the Jurassic Park series, even that terrible Dominion, which we really never talked about, Chase. You've been ducking motherfuckers for a very long time now, Chase.
No, I've been invited to that podcast.
No.
Quick.
Yeah.
Halloween Ends is great.
You know what? We're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that shit off camera. Me and you got words to talk about. But anyway,
Me too.
Brother Chase, knowing your love for the Jurassic Park franchise, and you're a dinosaur nut. Me and you, we talk dinosaurs a lot. Going into this movie, what were you expecting? And did this movie meet expectations or exceed your expectations?
So, I went into this movie kind of thinking, okay, I was getting almost like Jonah and the Whale vibes, the Moby Dick vibes. And I was like, oh, so is this going to be like a dinosaur movie, but it's a version of Moby Dick? Because that sounds fucking cool. Because I'm like, that sounds cool to me. Like this fucking T-Rex is stalking them and haunting them and trying to kill them several times. And he's like, we got to kill it somehow. That's what I was kind of hoping for. I didn't get that necessarily because, the T-Rex and the bigger dinosaurs don't really show up till the very, very, very end, which it's all right. I let that go. But what I got was, even though it wasn't something that I expected, I was very, very satisfied with what I was given, and that was an original dinosaur film there wasn't anything wrong with it. It wasn't like there was cheesy dialogue. It wasn't like it was stupid Hollywood humor. This was a movie that I felt like if it got enough hype and enough promotion, it would have been a perfect film. Not a perfect film, but a film that did not deserve the crap it's getting because all the people buying out to get the reviews good for Scream and Creed. I don't take that shit, and I blame Lady Gaga for all of that.
Save it for the end. We're going to talk about all of that when we get to the end of the review portion.
Well, anyways, I I was left satisfied with this film. I ended up getting a film that made me realize that as much as I love Jurassic Park, I miss the old dinosaur movies like Carnosaur, and I miss the days when they did movies where dinosaurs did scary things. And which is funny because they were promoting this film by the writers of Quiet Place, and like I could tell, but like it still wasn't like, to me it wasn't like, it had horror moments and a lot of loud jumpy moments, but it wasn't like terrifying or anything. I mean, I love the part where they try to save the baby T-Rex and then just gets mauled by the raptors right after. And I'm like, and what's funny is they did that to fuck with Jurassic Park, because if they did that in Jurassic World, nothing would have happened. But and what's funny is I was watching interviews, and Adam Driver said that the reason why he took this role was for his son, because his son is like a dinosaur buff, and he just thought it would be great for his son to have this movie, so that's why he took it.
Nice cover story,
said,
Adam Driver. Nice cover story.
Yeah, and the writer. And the writer and the director of this film, he was in an interview, and I caught it the other day, and he said, I'm not in the play to make Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. I'm in to make something different, something in my realm of taste and stuff. And so that's what he said. So he's like, I'm not out to make Jurassic Park or Jurassic World. So, and I appreciated that. I appreciated that this film was, maybe a typical sci-fi movie, or just, it's a generic, I mean, I don't know, generic is a word, but it wasn't like it wasn't a complicated film. It was simple. And I think what I think a lot of people nowadays, especially in the dinosaur community, they want Jurassic World, but they want good Jurassic World. They want it to be dinosaur accurate, but they don't want the Hollywood crap that comes with it. And
what you mean?
So
wait, what are you talking about, Brother Chase? Are you talking about things like, I don't know, archaeologists all of a sudden becoming James Bond?
Paleontologists?
That's what I wanted to say next. Paleontologists. Yes.
No, my thing is just humor. Okay. I mean, and also, like, I mean, my take on Dominion is all over the place, but there's a lot of things about Jurassic World that, I've always known that it's saturated with the Hollywood satire, and I think that's just what people just don't care about.
So you're saying that that's what this movie didn't do? They cut all of that fat, that Hollywood fat.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what was nice to see, because the whole entire time I was watching this movie and I was thinking, all right, what's going to happen that's going to make me want to walk out of the theater or make me realize, like, oh, this is what killed the film. And I'm like, there's nothing really that happened that made me be like, I'm embarrassed watching this, or God, I got to get rid of the Chris Pratt humor, or, the stupid, poopy jokes or whatever, None of that happened, and I thought that was great. And that's what I appreciated. And the writing between Adam Driver's character and Ariana Greenblatt's character, I thought was fine. I thought, like, I actually feel for these characters, and I was left just, I was like, I left the theater like I saw something that I expected to be terrible, but I was actually left surprised that I liked it a lot more than I thought I was.
That's great. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you.
That's how I'm just left with.
I got a real vibe. By the way, his name was Mills and her name was Koa, in the movie. I got a very strong Logan and Laura vibe watching that movie. Now,
that's a good one.
Yeah. Now, and not so much because in Logan, I mean, Wolverine was he was just grumpy. He was like, get away from me, right? But whereas Adam Driver was more sympathetic to Koa. I love that he had to lie to her to get her to go to the mountain. I don't know if he needed to, but the fact that he did brought some depth to that character. He didn't care. And then, like, I was still under the impression, and like JR was alluding to before, and again, spoilers, he was going to make it back with the money and see his daughter. But all he got to see of his daughter was those holo-vids. And I thought that was dope. And I love that the girl, I love that Koa took him. Because it seemed like when she was watching him, it seemed like she found, I'm not going to say a kindred spirit, but you can see that if they were ever together, they would be friends. Adam Driver's daughter and Koa.
Yeah, I got that big too.
So when you realize that Mills's daughter doesn't survive because she's got a disease, probably space cancer, because again they're not from Earth. It was a little gut wrenching, and it really, like, for me, it really hit. He needs to get this girl home. He needs to do it. Because he wasn't there for his daughter when his daughter needed him the most. And he says as much in the movie. And I love that part. Oh, man. That shit said, boom. I said, right in
He was going to put a bullet in him. He was going to kill himself.
Yeah, that was fucking dope. I can't even lie. I loved it when he did the thing. And he was like, don't even come here. There's no survivors. I thought that was fucking fantastic. But yeah, the dynamic between Mills and Koa really had me thinking about Logan and Laura a lot. I loved it. I need to get this girl to safety. I need to get this child to safety. That is my mission. And both of them looked at the child as a daughter. Even though Logan wanted nothing to do with it. Once he found out, I was like, oh shit, that's my kid. Through whatever, cloning and experimentation. But she's baby Wolverine. He was like, I got to get her home no matter what. And I really love that dynamic with Adam Driver. He had to get her home no matter what. So when he lied to her, he said, your parents, yeah. Here's the deal. One of the things that my brother had said this when we watched the Super Bowl and they showed the trailer. My brother was like, she's deaf. I go, no, get out of here. He goes, yeah, look, he's miming to her. And I go, oh, shit, okay. That makes for an interesting plot twist. She's not deaf. She's just from a different part of their world. I love that. I was like, oh, that makes sense. He does
not speak English.
She does not speak English. They don't understand each other. And his translator was broken. I like that. Little things like that in science fiction works for me. It's simple, it's easy, it's bang.
I thought what they were going to do was she was going to pretend she couldn't speak until she trusted him, and then she's going to start talking. But we've seen that before, though. So I was kind of like, yeah, I like that they did where she just didn't understand.
Yeah, I really dug that. I thought that was great. The dinosaurs, again, I already spoke on it. I did love all of them. I did. Even the ones that I was like, that's an alien. That's not a dinosaur. I did like them. I liked the designs. I loved the dinosaurs on the beach, the flying ones. Because I was like, oh, God, it's Kong Skull Island. Here we go.
Those were accurate dinosaurs.
They were accurate.
Those were probably the most accurate ones they had.
The T-Rexes were accurate. The T-Rexes were totally accurate.
So the thing is those little ones in the forest, those ones that were attacking on the beach,
I thought they were copies.
Accurate dinosaurs, but the one at the end, when it was huge, was not.
Yeah, well... So, you had the ones that look like compies, right?
Yeah.
I was like, oh, those are compies.
Those were supposed to be the raptors.
Yeah, they were like real small, thin raptors. They were like
malnourished. Yeah, because raptors, like Jurassic Park has fucked up our sense of scaling for raptors. They've always been small. Scientifically, they're small.
Yeah.
And that's what I liked about this movie. It was like, this is what an actual velociraptor looks like.
Yeah.
So fuck your day up, but it's small.
Yeah, that shit come running to you. You just punt that motherfucker like a chihuahua. Get out of here, you chihuahua.
He jumped up over the cliff and he grabbed it and then smashed his fucking gun into it.
Hey. That was the only part that got me in the movie. Yo, my leg went out. I said, oh, shit.
The wifey screamed. She was like...
I got caught because it was great. The way they set that scene up, you're meant to focus on whatever is that giant thing walking down there. That's what you're meant to focus on. So when that thing just pops up, that got me. From that point on, I was standing at attention. I was like, all right, I dare you motherfuckers to do that again. I dare y'all. while I'm eating my stale ass nachos. It was great. No, I can't lie. That was a good point. Got me. What else? I mean, just the whole thing. I'll tell you what I really like too about this movie. There were some stakes in there. Like at any given moment, they could have died, and they showed it when he tells her, "Don't eat the berries." Right?
I was saying, Adam Driver, like his character was having a bad fucking day when he fell out of that tree. And fucking, I was like, oh my fuck! Ooh. And then the dinosaur's coming. He's like, get my fucking arm!
Ooh, yeah. When he's doing
like
the
smashing,
he's doing the Mel. He's doing the Lethal Weapon too with Mel Gibson. Ooh, that was terrible.
Yeah, he took notes from Tong.
That too, yeah, exactly. That was terrible. I love that he was like standing like she. And that's another thing that I liked about the movie. He needed to save her, but he also needed her.
Yeah.
He needed her. There were several moments in that movie where she had to do something to progress the story. I love that. And he realized it. And yeah, he's sending her into danger. But I loved it because he's like, we gotta go. I gotta save her. We gotta go. The escape pod is there. We can make it. I will say, when they set up that camp and that motherfucking centipede went in her mouth, that fucked me up. That fucked me up.
That was fucking gross.
It was gross as shit, but I loved it too. At the same time, I was like, yeah, because they didn't dwell on it. She threw up. She got up. She said, we gotta get the fuck out of here. She was ready to go. That was a reaction that I thought is legit. If that would have happened to me, I would have well, first off, it wouldn't have, because I wouldn't have been able to fucking sleep when his dinosaur's trying to eat my ass. Okay? But I don't know, man. It was something about oh man, that shit was fucked up. She was vomiting, like not vomiting, she was foaming. He got it out. Oh, and then the fucking giant quadruped Tyrannosaurus thing was chilling by the fucking waterfall. Great shot, great scene. Man, I really enjoyed it.
I genuinely thought she ate the berries, and I said out loud, "You fucking idiot!" And the wifey's like, I was like, "She ate the berries," and then she's like, "No, there's a thing in her mouth." I was like, "Oh." Yeah. So I was like, "Why would you eat the berries?" but because of the language shit, that's where I was thinking. I'm like, she ate the fucking berries because she doesn't understand what the fuck he's saying. But then it was a gross ass bug.
Well, no, I mean he mimed it. He was like, don't eat, and she was like, ugh. And I like that because it showed that she wasn't dumb. That's the problem with a lot of movies. When you have a child in the movie, they tend to be stupid. This is why I love Godzilla vs. Kong so much. She's not dumb. That little girl is not dumb. She don't run into danger. I love that. This one, Koa in 65, was that girl. I will say I cracked up. I mean, the 15 people in my theater all have bust out gut bust when she tied the rope up and it looked like a damn giant spider web.
Everyone in my theater laughed. There was one lady who was like, "Fuck yeah!"
And that, you know what? And that's the beauty of it too, because that is a child's imagination. Like I would have done it, and as a grown ass adult, I'd have been like, "Yeah, this might not be taught enough. Let me run over here. I got enough. Let me do this. I got enough." Because I had never been, I never been a Boy Scout, so I wouldn't know how to do a tight knot. But I loved it. I thought that was dope. Damn, there was something else. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. But there was something else that I was like, yeah, I love this kid in that regard. There's a million other things. But, oh, yes. Okay. Special effects. Let's talk about them. I want to be honest. I like disaster movies. I do. This movie's a disaster movie. It turns into a disaster movie. It literally turns into one. When she looks up and sees the meteor coming, She doesn't know what that is. No idea. But we, as the audience, we get it. They were on prehistoric Earth 65 million years ago. We know what happened to the dinosaurs 65 million years ago. I love that. Brother Chase, did you see that coming? Did you see that swerve coming? Was the meteor not a thing when you went in to see this movie?
I mean, I didn't see it in any of the trailers, but right when I first 3 minutes in the movie, I realized what this movie was going to be. The first 3 minutes, I realized oh, so this is about them getting through the extinction of the dinosaurs as well. Right when they did the comet and stuff like that, when they show them getting hit, I'm like, oh, okay, now it all makes sense. Because I was like, I don't know what this movie is necessarily going to be about, but I definitely caught on quick for that, but I liked that. I liked that because that has not been done in a dinosaur movie at all.
Right.
And I like that a lot.
It's kind of like something we, in our favorite fandom, Godzilla fandom, within the past, let's say 10 years, a lot of the rumblings have been, oh, why don't we make a Godzilla movie with no humans in it? Just like Godzilla versus Monsters and shit like that. And this is kind of that type of movie. There's humans. Obviously, there needs to be something to connect us with, but there's no civilization. It is just him, and it is her. And it is survival. We got to get out of here. So when he sees the fucking asteroid coming with his awesome Star Wars, because that's what that was. It was, when Luke does the thing in A New Hope, and he scans and that's what it was. I don't care what nobody says. It was ripping off. Anyway, I digress. I loved it, and it was like impact imminent. What was it? 12 hours he had. Just, man, things like that. I was like, fucking thumbs up, bro. Thumbs up. JR, what did you think of that swerve? Not so much. Did you see the asteroid coming, or was it like, oh shit?
That was a curveball for me. A huge twist, and it added a nice ticking clock element to it. And I was like, dude, let's go. And I noticed it was even because there's one shot before he actually scans anything of the asteroid. You fucking see it. You see it. And I was like, no. And they fucking followed through with it. I was like, this asshole made the dinosaurs go extinct.
Oh, no, it wasn't his fault. He accidentally... That asteroid, I would love to know the movie between where that asteroid came from. I will say something about this movie that I was like, oh my fucking God, I love it. They did something that I had not seen since the late 80s, early 90s. And that was Adam Driver falling into quicksand. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Talk about tense.
You don't see quicksand in movies anymore. You just don't. You don't see it. It's a fucking forgotten art. And yet, there it was. And like you said, JL, tense. I mean, obviously, we knew he had to get out of there. But the way I loved it, it reminded me of Indiana Jones.
Oh, yeah.
When Indy was going under, Temple of Doom, he's going under. And was it Temple of Doom? No, actually, I'm lying my ass off. It was Kingdom of the Crystal Skulls. That's going to get a lot of people happy. And then they saved him with a snake. That's funny. She brought the branch down and got him out. I love that. Again, working together.
Yeah.
Couldn't speak the languages, but knew the language of survival. Let's get the fuck out of here. But the quicksand, oh my God. I mean, it was good quicksand. I don't know how to explain that. Y'all just have to watch movies in the 80s that had quicksand in it and know, oh, that's good quicksand. This has some good quicksand. I was like, oh my God, it's quicksand. I started suffocating. And again, 15 people in the theater. The theater was like a 500-seat auditorium. There's no reason for me to suffocate. I was like, oh God, quicksand. I loved it. See, it's little things like that, man. They were bringing back simple filmmaking.
Yeah, like The Cave.
Like The Cave.
The Cave? I'm not even joking. When they were just chilling in the cave and he's digging, I was like, wow, this set reminds me of an episode of Star Trek: The Next Generation. I miss that just a simple scene. It's like, well, what do we got to do here? We can have them in a cave, and they got to get out of the cave. I'm like, just, dude, keep the budget low, make it tense. Let's go.
Okay, I'm lying. There was two things that bothered me. One was the alien dinosaurs that I was like, what the fuck is that? But I wasn't really mad at. The second one, though, was, oh, I love you, little girl. You were doing so good up until this point in time. When she dropped all the grenades, those little bombs in that log for one little tiny...
Yes. The wife and me were like, you stupid asshole.
Yeah, I can't lie. I was like, you're so smart. And then you dropped all of the fucking grenades, all of them. Then just one. Like, you could put that shit into next week, bro. Come on. Oh.
He's laughing in the next room right now.
It's true. It's because it's true.
It's so dumb.
That shit pissed me off. I was like, you're going to need that bomb, motherfucker. I gotta call out the B word.
I was like, I totally understood because she's so young and panicked, but at the same time, it's like, but that when he's fighting that fucking weird dinosaur in the cave, and it's him, it was not only perfectly shot, it reminded me of Alien Isolation. It really fucking did.
Yeah.
The kind of like a motion tracker, the only way he's really seeing it is looking at it. I was like, this is Alien Isolation right now.
That was
So
dope.
the one thing I have to mention that I didn't like was the dinosaur chosen for that scene, because that dinosaur was an oviraptor, and those things don't have teeth. They eat eggs. And they were not that big. They were the size of like a chicken as well. They weren't that big, and so like that was kind of funny to me, like that dinosaur choice. I mean, they probably just wanted something that looked scary, which is fine, and they just wanted to upscale it. But like that dinosaur, that part probably irritated me, because I'm like, this is not. That was the part where I was like, all right, anything where like this is against accuracy, just now set me overboard, because I could get by creatures and alien-like dinosaurs trying to kill everybody, but when you're trying to do a dinosaur that resembles an accurate-looking dinosaur, that's where I goes like, oh, no, but it's all right. I'll forgive it.
You know what's funny about that dinosaur in particular? It reminded me, I swear to God, I was like, what the fuck? It reminded me of the Slee Stacks from the Land of the Lost. They did. I was like, it's a Slee Stack. It's a Slee Stack. I mean, they weren't full humanoids, but I was like, this is the precursor. It's a Slee Stack. That's what it reminded me of. And I put the Alien Isolation thing's a very good fucking point. And yeah, Chase, you're on the fucking money. This is why you're my dinosaur expert, bro. You know your shit, you paleontologist, a.k.a. super spy.
I was a big old dinosaur expert before I could walk, man. That was my stuff. Dinosaurs and Godzilla as a little kid.
Same.
And now that's what it is now. It's 27 years old. Dinosaurs and Godzilla.
It is what
and Predator.
Don't you love how like we all like this movie a lot? Why do people hate it?
And so let's get to it. End of the movie. We got a Jurassic Park. What was Jurassic Park 2 called again? Jurassic World.
The Lost World of
The
Jurassic
Lost World. The Lost World. We got a Lost World. Two Tyrannosaurus. Oh, I loved it. I gotta be honest. I loved it. We could have used those fucking grenades in that scene. I'm just saying.
Right?
But I loved it. It really reminded me of that part in Jurassic Park 2, The Lost World, where they ate that fucking dude. I felt so bad for him because he shouldn't have died, but he had to get killed. Where they tore him apart.
Eddie?
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
Eddie.
Because the way they came around the damn thing, and I was like, oh man, that was really cool. I loved it. And of course, obviously, they get out of there, and then they leave. They win. They don't die. The meteor crashes and destroys all evidence of them ever being there. And then it's over. And then the
Good
people,
ending.
and then the people start coming out of the theaters, and they jump on their phones, and instead of just like talking to the person next to them, yo, what you think of that? Like old school, you know what I'm saying? Like movies back when there was motherfucking quicksand back in them days. When you just walk up.
You could share a seat with someone for 5 cents?
Yes.
You mean like how all three of us, the wifey, brother-in-law, and me, just talked about the movie for like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
What we thought, like normal people used to do, yeah?
Yeah. No, instead of that, no, you got to get on the phone and be like, this movie is whack. This movie's stupid. Like, I don't understand. Like, where's Jurassic Park? Why wasn't it Dino Crisis?
Someone straight up fucking said, if you wanted something similar to The Last of Us, just go watch the show. And I'm like, this wasn't like The Last of Us.
At all.
In what fucking world did you make that connection? I'm sorry, I didn't remember Joel being a spaceman asshole. Ellie doesn't speak a different language, and I'm pretty sure there were zombies in The Last of Us.
I mean, there was some accurate dinosaurs, not all, but some.
And Ellie was the cure to everything. This little girl was just a little girl. What?
Yeah.
That is literally a guy I watched reviewed it, a non-spoiler, and said, yeah, it was like a shittier version of The Last of Us. And I'm like, what crack did you smoke? Not everything has to be The Last of Us.
You lying, right? That can't be true. That can't be a true story. You're lying.
I will send you the review.
No, don't send me the review. I don't.
So bad.
No, I'll leave a nasty comment, and I don't do that stuff. Somebody really compared this to The Last of Us. There's no comparison. It's yin yang.
He literally did. He literally said because there's male and little girl, and male has to escort little girl.
I would compare this movie to Aliens 2 to Aliens before The Last of Us.
Absolutely, or Riddick, or Pitch Black. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What fucking world do you even remotely make a Last of Us comparison other than, well, there's an older guy who lost his daughter and a younger girl who lost her family? That doesn't mean it's The Last of Us.
That's stupid. Even though...
That's like saying God of War is The Last of Us, but the sun is flipped. The daughter is flipped to the sun.
That doesn't make sense because it's not like the world ended, even though the world kind of does end for that particular period of time. But he's not from that world. Yeah, exactly.
There's no cordyceps.
Yeah. No, and this YouTuber has millions of subscribers, and this was the first time where I was like, how the fuck do you? Because you sound stupid. That was a stupid fucking comment. And it wasn't just him. So after the movie, I was curious. We had some downtime before we went to eat, and I was looking at Rotten Tomatoes, IMDb, just looking at reviews, and you would think nobody liked this movie. It is getting thrashed, dude. Bad. It's like on Rotten Tomatoes, it's at like 30%. IMDb, it's like 4.95. And I'm like, what fucking movie did they see?
But what I'll say to the Rotten Tomatoes one, though, is with how Rotten Tomatoes works, that's probably just because this movie had no fucking marketing at all.
Yeah, so they probably didn't make any money off of it because the studio wasn't like, here, we'll pay you X amount of dollars to... But it's users. It's a lot of users.
The one thing I will say is I was thinking about this for quite a bit, too. I think 65 came out the way it did because, in a way, Sony probably thought that people would recognize it as a Last of Us type thing with a man taking care of a kid. And they thought, since that kind of is the big thing with The Last of Us, which is a Sony property as well right now, they probably thought maybe it could be identified in the same way and they could touch people in that way. But or that could be what could gather people to come in. But the problem is that doesn't even work if your movie has no marketing.
And then has nothing to do with The Last of Us when you watch it.
I can't.
You watch it,
the only thing it has with The Last of Us is that dynamic of man taking care of child.
Yeah, but that's
all it is.
But that's not
what's happening.
Yeah, that's not The Last of Us's thing. Like The Last of Us thing.
Right, but The Last of Us is the biggest thing on TV right now.
Right now, yes. You know what? And The Walking Dead was like 15 years ago, and nothing like that didn't promote like all of a sudden a zombie boom. You know, like
no, we got World War Z because of The Walking Dead, and nobody asked for that shit.
Hey! As much as I love that book, because that's one of my favorite books, and I hated the movie because it wasn't the book. I love that movie. I love that movie. I love it. I watch it all the time. I love it. I love it. I love it. That's it. And the game too.
But that's the thing. So it's kind of funny. This would have to be another topic if we did a topic about video games. But Sony right now is in a place where they're just following trends. And this is a big thing that's actually been talking about lately. Is Sony's in a kind of hard spot because they're thinking that trends are what's. Excuse me. They're thinking that trends is what's going to buy them their cash bags, and there's a whole big thing going on with it right now, and that's what I see. But I don't want to believe that's what Sony did, but I can see that. I can see Sony saying, well, let's put this movie out right here where it is because of how big The Last of Us is, and the season finale of The Last of Us was just last night.
Nah.
So I could see Sony thinking that maybe we can bank off of this because if The Last of Us is over, maybe people will want something more in this type of archetype.
Which would be fair. But the problem is then you get the audience that's like, Last of Us, but dinosaurs! And then they go in there drooling on their popcorn, and they're like, this isn't The Last of Us!
Right, but you don't understand. Sony doesn't fucking care. Sony doesn't care. Yeah. They just want to get their money off of it.
No, all right.
The movie gets shit reviews, and people like us that were like, play games other than The Last of Us 24/7 like Dino Crisis and watch movies like Pitch Black and actual science fucking fiction films unlike fucking new Star Trek and fucking Star Wars and all this shit. We get actual science fiction, an actual fucking horrifying dinosaur movie, which we haven't had since Dinosaur.
True.
And we're like, oh my god, this shit's great. And then you get drooling Neanderthals in there because they're like, Last of Us.
Yeah.
The movie's going to flop. It fucking flops.
I cannot buy the idea, Chase, that Sony is like, well, let's just try to capitalize off of The Last of Us. I don't think that was it at all. And the only reason why I say that is because Sony is not Sony because of dumbass decisions like that. They're smarter than that. They're a lot smarter than that. This was nothing more than a tax write-off. They got Adam Driver. Yo us a favor for whatever reason. We're going to make this movie. He can say, I made it for my son. All he wants. And that's a beautiful story. No doubt. I will take nothing away from it. But this movie is nothing but a typical 90s movie. When you would have some big-ass action Hollywood star all of a sudden in this weird-ass direct-to-fucking DVD, not even DVD, direct-to-video. DVDs wasn't even a thing yet. Direct-to-video. You'd be like, wait, what the fuck is Sylvester Stallone doing in this direct-to-video shit when he just made Cliffhanger? It don't make sense. It doesn't make... That's what this movie is. That's what this movie is. It's a tax write-off. You owe us a favor, and we're going to do it. And it's a good movie. That's the problem, because there was really good movies back then that did this. Really good movies. Honest to God, I'm going to go out on a limb and say 80% of the movies that did this back then are actually good. Because there were stories. I can't say they were the dynamic that makes sense.
It reminded me on the lines of Super 8.
Yeah.
That movie now is like talked up, but that movie didn't do well.
No one knew what the fuck it was.
No, the problem with Super 8 though is it had all the marketing. And what Super 8 tried to do, especially with the marketing, was we're going to take it back to the old school. We're going to take it back to them days where you could go to a movie theater and see something like E.T., not knowing what it is, and come out very happy. Now, it did not work for everybody.
Monsters, E.T.
Right, exactly. So you have like a bunch of people confused because you're like, E.T., I love that movie. It's a feel-good movie. But that's the Cloverfield monster. And he's bad. And he's fucking shit. Like, I'm confused. The marketing there did not work. There was no marketing for this movie. And you know why there was no marketing for this movie? Because that was extra money they would have had to dump into it for a tax write-off. It's a tax write-off. It's all this movie is. It's all this movie is.
I looked up the budget.
Uh-oh.
For this movie.
$65 million. 65.
No. Between 46 and 48 million.
Tax write-off. No marketing.
And you know how much it made?
Okay, all right. The exact budget for it was 45.
You knew that.
So, you know how much it made?
How much? 25.
26 million. So
yeah.
It's a flop.
It's a tax write-off, bro. That's why they put it where they put it. No, listen. Just because you didn't know that Scream was coming out doesn't mean that the people behind the movie studios don't know when this movie's coming out. They know when Scream. You cannot put a movie with no marketing and the same day Scream 6 comes out as a fucking franchise. It's the 6th movie. This is not a franchise. This is a brand new IP. You can't do that. And then you can't say you cannot. And this is to all you YouTubers out there who are saying so. You cannot be like, well, they try to capitalize on The Last of Us. No, they fucking didn't. No, they fucking didn't. This movie wasn't made last month. This movie has been in production.
Isn't Scream and Creed also Sony titles?
No, Paramount owns Scream, and I don't know who owns Creed.
MGM should own, because MGM owns Rocky.
Yeah, MGM.
So MGM should own Creed because they're Rocky films. I mean,
yep.
So I was wondering how many films did Sony have come out this month?
No. So,
I don't know. They've been licking their fucking wounds after Morbius.
What's that?
They've been licking their wounds after Morbius, dude. Everyone's been making fun of Sony because of Morbius for a year.
And Venom, Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah.
That was not good.
They've been getting shit on. And it sucks. Because Sony makes these shit superhero movies.
Well, except for Spider-Man.
And Spider-Man was bad.
Yeah. But then they turn around and make this really good, fantastically acted, because that's one thing I will sit here again and say, Adam Driver didn't sleepwalk through this movie.
No.
He cried a lot. He was emotional. He was covered in shit.
And he played off of the girl.
Yeah.
Like, it was
chemistry. It was working. Like, they have this well-acted, well-constructed, good CGI, fucking under 2-hour movie come out that they don't market, don't give a shit about, and then people are going to see it and they're like, what is this shit?
Okay, guys,
they don't get it.
So just real quick, this is all of the Sony movies that came out in 2022. And you're starting with Uncharted.
Oh, that's a terrible movie.
The movie Devotion, which is a World War II movie.
Never heard of it.
The movie Uma.
Yeah.
Morbius.
Terrible. Did we lose Chase?
Morbius.
He said Morbius and then he just passed out. He said Morbius and passed out because Morbius was that bad. He passed out. He passed out. He said Morbius. Oh God! He passed out. There he's back.
Did the volume go out?
Yeah. You said Morbius and cut right out. Sony is trying to shut the podcast down.
He tried to assassinate me.
Yeah, and it's not even a live stream. That's the crazy part. It's not even a live stream. It's a podcast.
Well, no. So it's Morbius, Lyle Crocodile, Father Stew, I Want to Dance with Somebody, and Hotel Transylvania Transformania.
Oh,
the one that does not have Adam Sandler in it.
So I Want to Dance with Somebody is from Sony. That's not bad. Okay. That's the Whitney Houston biography. I could get that.
Okay, so last year they made one good movie, like you said.
Yeah.
And then this year they made a good movie.
A good movie
that they didn't care about.
They didn't care about because it's a tax write-off.
Which, again, is fine. I'm okay with the fact that it's a tax write-off. What I'm not okay with is something being this fucking good getting destroyed for no fucking reason. No good reason.
It's the culture of today. It is the culture of today. Because here's the deal. Okay. You got... Okay, I'm not going to name any names because I'm not in their circle, obviously. But you got people who are pretty well known within the circle. They're not there yet. They're not Siskel and Ebert. Let's put it like that, right? But if you go to the movies, you might see them on a big screen before the movie starts, right? You might see them doing a newbie thing or some shit, right? Not naming no names, but I follow her. I met her in person. I'm just saying. And this person is a huge Jurassic Park fan. Bigger Jurassic Park fan than I believe my brother Chase is. I'm going to be honest with you. They might be equal. He might be the yin. She might be the yang. They might be the same. I don't know.
I don't know. I have a Jurassic Park nightlight, so...
Listen, okay, fair enough.
If I can find my Jurassic Park underwear,
what I'm trying to say, though, is this person is also a huge Scream fan, right? Huge. This person is on the theaters. When I go to the movies, this person is on the screen before the movie starts. Someone like this person who is not officially Siskel and Ebert, but has the followers. I'm not going to say this particular person because I honestly doubt that this particular person would have shat on this movie. If anything, this particular person would have been like us and like, this movie is fucking dope. Because it's right up their alley, right? Right up their alley. The problem, though, is this person has a fucking duty to Hollywood. So what's coming out? Scream's coming out. It's all business. So when you get all of these people who is nowhere near this person's level, but they want to be up to this person's level, what are they going to do? They'll shit on this movie to promote that movie, which was Scream. And that is the fucking malfunction of social media. That's the malfunction. That's the malfunction. Because people can't just enjoy a movie for what it is. It's a good movie. It is a good movie. It is a good throwback movie, like Chase said, to the Dinosaurs. It's better than Dinosaur. It had a budget.
Yeah.
Dinosaur was straight to video.
Just before, I want to touch onto that because this is a movie that's in a way the first of its kind because we haven't had a dinosaur movie like this in years. Not say like Carnosaur. What Carnosaur came out in like '93 or was after Jurassic Park?
Yeah, it was decades. Decades.
So it's like I thought about this. I thought about After Earth at one point while watching this.
After Earth? Which one was that? Like, which one is After Earth?
After Earth's with Will Smith and his son.
Will Smith flopped.
Yeah.
I kind of like that
And I was
movie.
like, this is a better version of that.
I could agree with you on that.
5 fucking leagues! Because the premise isn't exactly the same, but the setting's very similar.
Yes.
The science fiction aspect is very similar. And that's where I was kind of like... but After Earth made money for some reason.
No, not for some reason. For Will Smith. End of story.
But it just bothers me.
Well, I mean, what do you mean by it made money? Because it didn't. It flopped. It was one of the biggest flops of the year when it came out.
It probably didn't make $20 million against a $40 million budget.
But that's okay. But that's what I'm like. That's what I'm actually okay with this movie making $20 million against a $40 million budget, especially in its opening weekend. You made $20 million up against Scream? That's crazy. On something that wasn't promoted. That's crazy.
Not only not promoted, but it's a science fiction film with dinosaurs.
So you know what that really means? That this movie is an actual win. Not only is it a tax write-off for Sony, but they're like, oh, shit.
So hold on. Real quick, the budget for After Earth was $130 million, and it made $243 at the box office.
and it got promoted, and that movie got promoted. Now, it's a Will Smith movie, so it got promoted. Yeah. So it did not make its money back. It did not make its money back.
It wasn't a great haul, but that's what I mean. It's like, this is a better version of that, and it's not making money. Again, like you were saying, I could respect it, especially, it's a niche market.
It's a niche market.
Dinosaurs in real science fiction, not Star Wars and new Star Trek science fiction. Science fiction. But I mean, like, old school science fiction, like the old school Star Trek, or like Battlestar Galactica or Stargate SG-1, that kind of science fiction.
Yeah.
That's what this was.
Yeah.
So there was science.
I gotta add something to this, because this is what has bothered me for a long, long time when it comes to dinosaur movies. At the end of the day, even though paleontologists say, like, oh, dinosaurs are speculated now to have feathers or to look a certain way, unfortunately, at the end of the day, we will never, ever know what dinosaurs look like. We will not, unless we were there in person. And so when I see these people and they just get so hell-bent because they're not accurate dinosaurs, it just makes me shake my head, because, like, at the end of the day, you don't know what these things look like. And the thing is they change their theories all the time. Like, they just changed their theory where they thought Tyrannosaurus Rex was feathered. Well, now they say there was Tyrannosaurus Rex that had feathers and some that didn't, and they're saying some had fur and all that. And it makes it goes back and forth. And so my point is with that is, I took this movie for what it was because of just the aspect of it's just a fun movie with creatures, and I am not, and that's how I am with Jurassic Park 2. I don't go in thinking, like, I'm not going to be that guy that's like, oh, well, this T-Rex didn't look this way, so I'm going to be pissed about it. I'm not. Now, the thing where I mentioned the Oviraptor in the cave, that was a little funky, but that's just a minor thing. I thought that was kind of silly. But at the end of the day, I enjoy for what it is, and that's what I liked the most with this movie. Is it was what it didn't try out to be a dinosaur accurate film. It didn't try to be a Jurassic Park. It tried to be a survival space movie.
Well, that's not okay nowadays. You can't have, you have to have more than that. You have to have a Thanos for some reason.
Yeah.
Listen, the biggest problem with this movie was the release date. And that's it.
Yeah.
If this movie came out September, early October, or in November, this movie would have made more money.
Ooh.
It really would have.
I like the November idea. Like November 5th sounds cool.
The beginning of November, because nothing's coming out. Marvel doesn't have the hold it used to have on the market anymore. It doesn't. Ant-Man flopped.
That's not what
Ant-Man.
Ant-Man flopped. Look.
No, it fucking flopped.
It flopped. And it's not a bad movie. That's the problem. No. It's not a bad movie. It just flopped.
It's just people are just... When we talk about the fatigue,
it's real.
This shows the fatigue. People are like, we're done.
It's real.
The thing is, it makes me wonder, because if Marvel keeps rolling out these hits, it makes me wonder how it's going to change, because eventually Marvel's going to no longer be Marvel.
So, look, I'll be honest with you. I got to be honest. I'll be honest. I enjoyed more of the last couple of Marvel TV shows more than I did Ant-Man. Like, legit. Like, I loved She-Hulk. I loved it. I got it. I was like, oh, that's perfect. That's perfect.
I'm more excited about the John Bernthal coming to the Flash, the Daredevil show that they just announced the other day.
Yeah, he needs to, because he is the Punisher. End of story. But I mean, this ain't Marvel.
And I hope he gets his show back, because that did not need to get canceled.
Well, that's what all I'm saying is 65 would have made more money if it was put out later, not in a month. And here's the deal: who knows? Maybe Sony always had it slated for this month. Because March has never been known for a fucking movie month. It's never been known.
Dude, it honestly seems like this is just kind of like a hypothesis. A lot of these movies, like John Wick 4 was supposed to come out like a year or two ago.
Right.
It's been sitting finished. And I don't know about Dungeons & Dragons. I don't Scream. It seems like every other year there's one coming out. But I almost wonder if this March is just, yo, COVID shut this shit down. This is our catch-up. We got to get this shit out. We've had, like, and that's why I'm wondering if, like, 65 might have been, A, a tax write-off, and B, get it out. It's been sitting here done for, like, a year. You know what I mean? Because like we've been saying, I've never seen heavy-hitting fucking movies in March.
Right.
You know, say what you will about Dungeons & Dragons, it's got a fucking legacy. A big legacy. It's had movies. It is a Dungeons & Dragons is a huge franchise, and they got a brand new fucking movie come out. That's big. And in March, big. John Wick 4. There hasn't been a bad John Wick movie.
3, 2.
3 was getting there. 3 was pushing it.
3.
But I'm like saying, like, critical response wise,
right,
hasn't been shit on.
Right.
And then Creed 3, are you fucking kidding me? Creed 1 and 2 are fantastic.
And its legacy is Rocky.
Yes. This is Apollo Creed's son, and it's his third movie. Michael B. Jordan's first time directing. That's a big fucking movie. These are big fucking movies.
And the Scream.
Yeah. What the fuck is 65? Like, and that's what I'm wondering is, like, we can't hold on to these anymore. We have to fucking get them out there. And that's what makes me think the tax write-off aspect, we've had it sitting for a year. It's been like they've been working on post-production, and this was like, we got to find time to release it. Fuck. We don't know when to release this. Just get it out. There's going to be fans. And it's so weird because it's such a good movie.
It should have came out in February if they needed it for a tax write-off. We all know tax day is in April. Like, yeah. So it should have came out in February. There is no excuse, seriously, unless Sony had this shit locked before any other movie. There is no excuse for this movie to come out up against the juggernaut that was Scream.
Yeah.
Okay, and again...
It could have been something where when they did test screenings, instead of them wanting to change things, they just decided to leave it as is and just not give a shit into it.
Yeah.
I'm glad they did leave it as is because it was a good fucking movie.
It was a good movie, right. And that's the problem. It's a good movie. This movie will absolutely, like I said in the beginning, this movie in 5 years will be a cult classic. It's going to get that status.
Well, yeah, what's going to happen is it's going to end up on Netflix in a couple months because Sony has a tie with Netflix right now. It's going to end up on Netflix, and then it's going to pick up a lot of hype.
I can see that.
People are gonna watch the shit out of it. People that originally were like, "Oh, this movie sucks," are gonna watch it again. And then they're going to be like, wait, this is actually like, what the fuck? Why did I... Because I've seen people do that with their movie reviews, where the fuck, I do it sometimes when I'm like, well, I hated this movie at first. Fucking what was I thinking? This is actually good. It's going to be an instance like that. Then Arrow's going to do a special release of it, because they always get badass fucking movies under their shit.
Yo, don't bring that up, because Arrow still needs to release one movie. Just one. Arrow, I just need one fucking movie, Arrow. Stop it, but you need to give me Bio-Zombie. Come on, Arrow, give me Bio-Zombie. Sorry.
But in all honesty, like, and I was saying this, was it a perfect film? Was it a fantastic film? Yes.
Yeah.
I at no point got bored. At no point was I questioning the science. At no point was anything. I went in, got more than what I expected. Remember, I wanted Dino Crisis. I got what my favorite franchise, one of my favorites, is the Chronicles of Riddick, the trilogy. They have a fourth movie coming. I love those movies. And I got a dinosaur movie with my favorite actor Fucking Kylo Ren's my favorite Star Wars character. Like, this man is a legend to me.
People remember, he's only saying that because he is Adam Driver.
Yeah, I do look like
he's shilling. He's shilling.
But it comes out, and it grabs me. I'm invested, and I loved every second of it. I couldn't give it a 5 out of 5, but a solid 4 out of 5.
All right, I was going to bring that up next too, so I'm glad you started it. So 4 out of 5, huh? Chase, where you at with this?
5.
You could go to 5. You could go to 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do out of 10s. I probably would give it a 7 out of 10. I think for what it was, 7 or 8. The thing is with me is I loved the movie for what it was. I just wish there was more. They could have added a little bit more, I felt like. So with that, I'd give it where it was at. Probably 7.5, 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I'm going to go 8 out of 10 solid. I dug this movie, man. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. Again, it was a classic throwback, in my opinion, to those movies that would just come out. For the sake of movies just coming out. For the sake of something in the theater that appealed to other people. I remember one time, coming out of junior high school, there was a movie theater across the street from my junior high school. I saw Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles there. I'll never forget. I love it. Cobble Hill Theater, baby. I love you, Cobble Hill. I love you. I remember one year, me and my friends, we came out of school, went across the street. It was a Friday. Said, let's go see a movie. We went to the movie theater, and there was nothing that any of us liked. And we went to go see some shit like Message in a Bottle or something. I think that was it. And it was like we left. We ate our M&Ms and walked the fuck out because it wasn't our thing. This is one of those movies that if that would have came out then, we would have been in. It would have been more than M&Ms. It would have been M&M peanuts, Raisinets, popcorn, cherry Coke, nacho, everything. We would have bought everything. Broke-ass Puerto Ricans in Brooklyn. Bought everything. We'd have bought it all because that's the type of movie we was looking for, That's what this is. Unfortunately, it just came out in the wrong time frame. And again, that's why I say it's a tax write-off. It should have came out in February. It might have made its money back. It might have made its production budget back in February. Yeah. I can't see going forward
by an asteroid of movies.
Yeah, exactly. Because I can't see going forward from this point on it making its money back. Because Shazam comes out this week, Dungeons and Dragons, and John Wick 4. And I'm not going to twist it up. Y'all fucking know for a fact, as much as Dungeons and Dragons is going to be the sleeper hit of the year, John Wick 4 is the Scream 6 to Dungeons and Dragons 65. Mark my words, you'll see it in 2 weeks. I'm not making that up. John Wick 4, because I'm pretty sure both those movies come out on the same day. John Wick 4 is going to make... What? No.
John Wick 4 comes out the 24th, a week prior to Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, Dungeons and Dragons comes out right...
Dungeons and Dragons comes out the 31st.
The 31st. They locked it down, and they have no competition that week.
That is the smart move.
It is.
That is the
I
smart move.
honestly thought it was a smart move for them to move John Wick. Because, again, kids can go see Dungeons and Dragons. Kids can't go see John Wick.
No.
And you know damn well teenagers and kids are going to D&D.
No.
That's money.
No. Kids can absolutely go see John Wick because I am from a generation that went to go see Short Circuit 2 and it was sold out. And you know what happened? My father said, well, since we're already at the fucking movies, we're going to go see this movie. And what was that movie? Only the greatest action Christmas movie ever made, Die Hard. And it changed my life forever. And it changed my life.
I'm just saying, like, as far as, like, a family going.
Yeah, no, you can take your family to go see John Wick 4. You can take your...
Listen, I'm not against it. Don't get me wrong.
Like, personally, I actually advocate for families. Listen out there. All you families out there, listen to me.
Please.
Take your children to see rated R movies. Take them. Just fucking take them. And I'm not talking about the scary ones, even though My father used to take us to see Freddy Krueger all the time. Okay? Take your kids to see rated R movies. If it's an action movie, because we need more rated R action movies. We need movies like Terminator, Terminator 2, Rambo, Die Hard, RoboCop. For crying out loud, RoboCop was rated R. We need that back. We need it back. Fuck this PG-13 shit. Parents, take your kids to see rated R action movies. That's all I'm saying. Give me another fucking Lethal Weapon, old school. Give me that shit. We are off on a tangent. We got to talk before we go. We got to talk about The Lake. We've got to talk about this movie. It's a giant monster movie.
Real quick. I didn't get to watch the trailer. I know you guys sent it, but I was having dinner. And I came home, fell asleep because I celebrated my birthday.
Happy birthday, you fuckhead.
And it was Thursday, last Thursday, but thank you. So I celebrated my birthday on Saturday. So yesterday I was extremely hungover. So when I got home from eating and seeing the movie, it fucking crashed. And then I had work this morning, and it just out of my mind. So I have no dog in this race.
For The Lake?
I didn't see it. I didn't watch the trailer. I never got around to it.
Dude, The Lake, but this trailer's been around since fucking last year.
Oh, well. Yeah, I saw it. I saw you guys send it, and I didn't.
It was like last March.
Yeah, I came out a year ago.
So you're telling me I had a year to watch it, and I spaced it?
You've never, dude. Okay. So here I am. I'm on bloodydisgusting.com because I do love this website. And this came out 3 weeks ago. The Lake. Giant practical monster from The Mist and Cloverfield. Artist comes to the U.S. in March. That's crazy. Okay, ready? I'm reading this from the article itself. A big-budget Thai-Chinese co-production, The Lake, is being unleashed in the United States here in early 2023 with Epic Pictures Group releasing a brand new trailer this afternoon. So that was 3 weeks ago. I didn't watch that trailer. All right. Back to the article. Hollywood-based Epic Pictures Group have acquired North American distribution rights, sales rights, ex-Asia, I don't know what the fuck that means, and has also taken an investment position in Thailand's highly anticipated giant monster movie, The Lake. Here we go. This is the juicy part, fellas. Plans are to release the film March 10 in limited theatrical, followed by March 14th on digital platforms. March 14th. That's tomorrow. We are recording this podcast Monday, March 13th. March 14th is Tuesday, tomorrow. Well, however you're listening to this, if that is legit, The Lake will be ready to go right now as y'all listening to this. And May 16th, the film is set to hit physical media. Wait, what? Oh, May 16th. Okay, never mind. So, I read that wrong. That makes sense. May 16th, physical media. Perfect. So, dude, first and foremost, Chase, since JR ain't watched the motherfucking trailer. Chase, what do you think about The Lake, bro? I mean, honestly, is this something you're looking forward to?
Oh, absolutely. I thought the trailer looked fantastic. I'm a little bit upset, though, that even though it says it's coming out, nowhere in California can you see it.
So that's why I'm kind of curious, because, again, we had this conversation. You told me that you initially saw March 10th on Friday, which would have been crazy.
Yeah, I did.
Considering 65 and Scream 6 came out March 10th, okay? We didn't need another movie in our way. But this March 14th on digital platforms has me really interested, because I also have been looking at Fandango, and there's nothing for this movie in any of the theaters near me or in my city. But that being said, if this is available, let's say on Amazon or fuck it, whatever, like any freaking digital movie site, I need to watch this. I'm going to order it. I'm going to pay. It'll probably cost me $20, but I'm going to pay to see it. I'm gonna pay. See, I'll pay the $20. I already got my chips and dips and my soda here, but I really want to see this movie because I am really excited for a giant monster practical effect. There's absolutely CG in it, but a giant monster with practical effects movie. I need to see it. It's been way too long.
The one thing that I keep finding is I keep finding tons of things that contradict you. I see stuff that says March 10th and I see stuff that says March 14th. Now the problem is even if it came out March 10th, it should still be in theaters right now. At least today would have been the last day, because even Shin Godzilla was in theaters for at least 3 to 4 to 6 days.
No, it wasn't. When Shin Godzilla came out over here, 3 days tops. That was it. It was 3 days.
Shin Godzilla was super limited.
Yeah, I went because I remember I went
that
on.
was different for me because in my when I was living with my grandmother at the time, it was a week straight they had Shin Godzilla showing.
Oh shit!
Yeah, like where I'm at, I think like I remember 2 days showing, and that was it.
And then they had a week break where it wasn't in theaters, and they brought it back for another 2 days, and then that was it.
Yeah. Oh. Well, even still, Godzilla is a household name.
Well, right, but what I'm saying is I don't feel like the lake just would have been a 1 day thing.
Well, I don't think it was a 1 day thing. If it came out on the 10th, which was last Friday, then if it was theatrically released, which it's not, tomorrow, the 14th of March, would have been a perfect. Okay, now we can put it on digital. So here's my thing, and this is something that I really think should be a thing going forward. Any foreign or international movies that we can't get right away should, if people want to see it, be put digitally. And I've said this before. I've said this before on previous podcasts, dating back 3-4 years. When Shin Godzilla came out, for instance, if you were in a city, right, or a state that was unlucky enough to not get Shin Godzilla and you love Godzilla, that's not fair. There should have been, after 3-4 days, just get it on digital, you know, especially since COVID. Now, that Shin Godzilla came out before COVID, that was 2016, but since COVID, there should be no fucking around with this shit. A movie like The Lake, you've got fans like us wanting to see movies like that. And if you're not releasing it here right away, put it on digital. Put it on digital. And I get it, you know, you put it on digital, that's gonna hit pirated sites and shit, but I'm gonna pay for it, man. Like, I'm a fan of this shit, man. I want it to succeed. I'm paying the money. I want it to succeed, so I'm gonna pay it. I'm gonna pay for it. And I hope that tomorrow I wake up and oh shit, The Lake is on, you know, whatever, Amazon. Bought. Thank you. I'm gonna watch it, or not bought.
It's gonna be on Vudu.
Hey, I have a Vudu thing somewhere.
I haven't used my Vudu in 12 years.
It's same. No, listen, same. But I know I have it. So I'm just saying, if that was the case, I'm in. But that's...
No, you interested me just in describing it, though. Like, so I'll give it a shot.
Right here, it says you can watch The Lake on Vudu in 3 hours.
Wait, I called that shit?
But it does say you can watch it on Prime as well, but Prime's not till tomorrow.
3 hours? So it's 7 o'clock right now, Pacific Standard Time. Yeah, no, dude, I'm gonna pass out. I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and I'm off all fucking week. I'm gonna upload this. If I don't upload this tonight, this will be uploaded tomorrow morning. But either fucking way, I'm gonna watch The Lake, and I implore you to watch The Lake too, because I want to talk about it. This is look, y'all seen The Host? Did any of you see The Host?
I don't think so.
I saw The Host a long time ago because I thought it was a kaiju movie.
It is a kaiju movie.
Wait, the one with the giant weird frog monster?
Yes.
Okay, I know of it. I haven't seen it.
Oh, it's a good movie, man.
Does it Bill Toad from Futurama?
No. But no, man, like that's what I want, man. It was things like that. Like that movie was like, see, we can still do it because it came out. There was nothing going on. There was no Shin Godzilla yet. You know, Final Wars had happened. And it was just like, well, what do we need? What are we waiting for? Where's the fucking kaiju? And The Host is not really a kaiju movie per se. It's more in line of The Relic, you know? It's a monster. It's a big monster. But it ain't a kaiju.
Yeah.
The lake is a kaiju. That's a motherfucking monster. That's a
okay. Is this? I mean, JR needs to see that trailer. But the thing is, I saw that trailer a few weeks ago. The American trailer, the release for it to promote it coming in theaters, and that kaiju looks awesome.
It does. It definitely
God
does.
damn it! I'm so upset that it's not coming. I wonder if something got lost in translation, or they just decided not to show it.
Oh,
they could have cut it out of theaters to save money. I mean,
maybe Sony's distributing. You know, Sony's got the distribution rights, and Sony's like, wait. We gotta not put this in theaters because we gotta kind of make some money off of 65.
That could be, but the problem is I've been looking for it for a week on Fandango, and then I bought my tickets to 65 on the 9th, and then the 10th I looked for the lake and it wasn't there. So it was like, I mean, if it says it came out on the 10th, then Fandango didn't have it listed.
Well, no. Again, it says limited theatrical release on the 10th. That might have been legit because I've seen this before. So, perfect example. I saw Final Wars in a movie theater.
Lucky. Okay?
I did. It was an art house theater.
Yeah.
So it was a decent sized screen. It wasn't a movie theater screen. We were sitting on fucking fold out chairs. We weren't in the theater per se. But I saw it on a bigger screen than my TV at the time. You know? And it was in a theater. It was an art house. It was in an art house. I don't think this movie was doing that, but you know, there are certain movies that only come out in New York and LA. And this might have been one of those movies. For whatever reason.
Fudge. Yeah. At least I can say I saw Godzilla 2000 in theaters.
Well, yeah, but that's because Sony was smart.
Hey, another Sony property.
Yep.
Yeah, Sony used to be smart back then.
Well, Sony is still smart because, hey, while we're on the subject of movie theaters, and March 22nd, a.k.a. next week Wednesday, Godzilla Tokyo SOS is coming to theaters. Holy shit. I don't like that.
Which is so funny because I was just going to say that when I was walking out of 65, that trailer they had on this big old screen, this giant screen in the auditorium, the lobby. And I was like, why the hell am I hearing Godzilla? I'm like, is my phone going off? I look up and I see Mothra and Godzilla squaring off in Tokyo SOS on this trailer. I'm like, that's cool. That was awesome.
Yeah.
That fucking trailer. Every time I went to watch any Sony Godzilla DVD, that fucking trailer played every fucking time, so I know it by heart. But I'm trying like hell to go see it. I'm trying to convince the wifey. The problem is it's playing in Boise and not Nampa. And Boise, it's a fucking 30-minute drive to get to the theater, and gas. I don't know about you guys, but gas prices are beyond hurting me. So it's kind of like, is it worth it? Plus the $40 for the tickets. Because my theaters started charging per section.
Wait. You have an AMC theater.
I have Regal.
That's an AMC thing. I know AMC is the
Regal started doing it.
See, nope. My Regal out here ain't doing that. Like,
really?
Yeah, they're not doing that.
They literally started doing it. So
yeah, that's a really fucked up thing, because I remember just reading that AMC, and it's a big thing, is AMC was the number one theater chain that got hurt the most with COVID, and they were saying that they're going to start charging per aisle, like different tickets per aisle.
Yeah,
and
so Regal picked up on it because they're talking. It's all over in the movie theater, like it's happening. I don't know when, but some of the movies I've already started seeing it happening. Fuck if I know. All I know is the ticket prices are getting more expensive. It's supposed to be about $20 to $24 for, like, I sit at the top. Those are the most expensive seats. Like $20 to $24. And then it's like $8 if you want to break your neck looking up. So
my mom is handicapped, so I sit in the handicapped section.
Those are good seats. I'm just saying, those are nice seats.
This is why I like matinee, because for $9, I got to see 65 in the back, top seat, top row.
My theater, all seats are the same seats. It just depends where you sit.
Yeah. No, it's all fucked. It's like they're experimenting with everything here. I don't know what's going on.
Well, as long as I don't get Walmart charging per shopping cart, I don't care.
Wait, what? Wait,
what?
That's the new thing in Canada. It has started that Walmart in Canada is starting to initiate selling out shopping carts. So you can't just use shopping carts for free. You have to pay like $1 for a shopping cart to use a shopping cart.
That's like,
and they're now implementing that. I can't remember where it was in the United States. They just now implemented it somewhere locally. I think it was
no, man. Listen,
Seattle.
Man, listen, this is totally not a talking point on this podcast. But
I know.
No way.
I think it's just the point. It's like with the movie theaters doing it, it's gonna get harder for someone like me to go see movies because it's expensive, and that's where.
No, it's not just you though. It's not just you. It is going to affect everybody. So here's the problem with that. What the fuck is the word?
Model.
Thank you. Jesus, I'm getting old. Christ, I'm getting old. The problem with that model is you're going to have people not go to the movies. Yeah, and AMC is going to re-COVID everything because they're going to fuck up the system. Now, if you're saying that Regal is doing this, that's insane. That's insane. Nobody will go to the movies anymore. And then the streaming services will pay the fucking production company the money to give it to us at home if we want to watch a movie, $25. And it'd just be you. It'd be you in your house by yourself. They're going to say $25 anyway. Yeah. Because they're like, if you was here in a theater with someone else, you know what I'm saying? Even without the popcorn, it's going to average out to at least $20. $25 for you to sit on your...
And I do it. For parking.
And what?
Watch, they'll start charging for parking.
I mean, listen, bro. I mean, I lived in New York City. They was charging for parking anyway on a straight-up street. It was terrible. And
I'm just saying.
Using a movie theater, and you had to fucking put quarters in your motherfucking meter. You had to run out the movie to put quarters in your fucking meter.
People from here hopping that.
That was crazy. But yeah, man, it's a fucked up situation, and I can't believe that Sony would put 65 in the middle of a packed March. knowing
How
what
dare
theater
you.
prices are. Oh,
65 was great.
65 was great. It was.
We're done bitching about the prices of these fucking movie theaters.
We're done talking about bad business practices.
We're done with this podcast, because that will do it, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode of the G Show. It was like a geek out. It was the 65 review. We previewed the lake. We talked about movie theaters. We talked about a whole bunch of things. I want to thank all of y'all for joining us, but I want to give a special thank you to my brother Chase. Thank you for joining us today.
Oh, absolutely. It was a pleasure talking to you guys. I love this topic. Fun podcast.
Fun podcast indeed. Brother JR, thank you for joining us today.
If you want people to go to the theaters, don't charge my aisle.
Do not charge the aisle, because honestly, we'll all just bootleg your shit. That'll do it. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you all for joining us today. I am G1. We are out of here. Until the next time, peace.